Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. St. Louis Cardinals, winners of the NL Central, and the Braves, the winners of the National League East. Cardinals up 1-0 in this best-of-5. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Atlanta, Cobb County. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson along with Ron Darling. We'll hear from Lauren Shahade in just a moment. Well, Ronnie, before we look ahead, let's look back to what was an impressive run for the Cardinals offensively. They went from dormant to explosive in the last 2 innings.
Well, it's kind of a sloppy game for the Cardinals early, but it was their run producers that really got it going. Trailing by 2 runs, Goldschmidt with a huge home run to left field, and then Ozuna with a double down the left field line, and Colton Wong, who hasn't played since September 19th, with a big double that produced 2 more runs.
Well, the Cardinals have their ace on the mound here today. He got game 2 because he pitched last Sunday to prepare and get the Cardinals as division winners.
It's not only his numbers in September, it was his numbers the entire second half. Bob Gibson in 1968 at a 1.12 ERA. His ERA was below 1 after the All-Star break.
He has been impressive. All right, some transaction news for the Atlanta Braves. Chris Martin was injured yesterday, turning point in the game. He's been placed on the injured list. He will be replaced on the Braves roster by Julio Teheran. That means Brian Snitker is going to have to shake things up in his bullpen, and you figure Max Fried will be a big part of that. So how do the Braves get back even in this series against the Cardinal ace?
Well, I think they're going to have to do it with their pitcher first. A very humbling year for Mike Fultonevich. If you think about it, had an elbow issue in spring, didn't make the team, went to Gwinnett. 2 times he was in AAA, but finally figured out his control and his slider late in the year.
Well, the Braves offense is going to have to pick up some of this slack. And aside from the sideshow of Ronald Acuna, they were there.
3 hits and a home run last night for Acuna. He had a left hip and groin issue. Well, there was an elbow issue for Freddie Freeman. He had 2 hits, including a home run in the 9th. Their core 4 can come through. They can come through in this game.
It was a gut punch loss for the Atlanta Braves, but I think the bigger story was the headline that Ronald Acuna did not run a ball out, ended up with a single as opposed to a double. That has been the big story, and for more on that, we check in with Lauren Shahade. Lauren.
Yeah, B.A., he failed to hustle out of the box, and it's something Brian Snickers had to address all morning long. He told me it's not the first time something like this has happened, so I called for a closed-door meeting with him and his interpreter. Snickers said, what I hated most about the situation is that after a tough loss, my guys had to answer for him. Freddie Freeman saying, look, that can't happen in the postseason. It can't happen in the regular season, but Snickers' message pretty darn clear. I'm not giving up on you, kid. Let's get better.
It's a delicate situation. The Braves need him. He is their best player. They're chopping away in Atlanta. We're ready for game 2. We've got lineups and first pitch coming your way in the NLDS.
Mobile. By Sprint. Switch today. By Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Push button, get mortgage. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today.
Well, this might be October 4th, but it feels like we're in the middle of July. It is 96 degrees. Yeah, a few clouds, just a few. They'd love more. Sun is shining brightly, a beat down. Easy to get loose on a day like this. Mike Shildt managed a beautiful ball game yesterday. The Cardinals win this first game of this series. His lineup is the same. Fowler, Edman, and Goldschmidt, Ozuna, Molina, and Wong. Wong elevates a bit in the lineup with the right-hander on the mound, and then it goes to Young, Bader, and Flaherty. Dexter Fowler ready to lead off for the St. Louis Cardinals, and on the mound for the Atlanta Braves is Mike Fultonevich. You could call this a flyer for the Atlanta Braves. They've got their ace on the mound for game 3 in St. Louis. It is Fultonevich who gets the game 2 start.
His job is if he can get the Braves a win here tonight, then they go to their ace, Soroka, in St. Louis. His last 10 starts since his recall from Gwinnett, 6-1, ERA 2.65, but even more importantly, the Braves are 9-1 in those 10 starts. And then defensively, Brian McCann, the veteran, back in there. I doubt he'll be pinched hit for like he was last night. Donaldson, Swanson, Albies, and Freeman. Freeman with the gold, Albies someday. And Markakis, Acuna Jr., and Joyce. Markakis playing left field. He's been a right fielder his entire career.
Well, teams who win game one, as the Cardinals did yesterday in a division series, are 73-27. That's a .730 winning percentage all time to advance. Let me ask you, Ron, before we get started here, as Fowler digs in, you see that shadow coming across home plate halfway to the mound. How much effect will that have on the hitters?
We are starting in half an hour approximately earlier than yesterday. This will have a huge impact because it's almost 3/4 of the way out. Hitters in the darkness, the pitcher is in the full sunshine.
You're going to see two power pitchers on the mound today. First pitch of the ball game is in there for a strike called by Alan Porter, and away we go. Dexter Fowler had a hit yesterday, drove in a run on a ground out. He has been excellent in the leadoff spot, had a comeback here this year, and he's quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. You see the shift is on early for Fowler. Yeah, good day to light up the radar gun at Major League Baseball here today, at least in the first 2 games. And how about that? 3 pitches and Fowler on about face. 3 pitches, a strikeout for Mike Foltynewicz.
Fastball away, slider down and in, slider for a strike at the belt. Nice pitching by Foltynewicz. You see that grip as it leaves its hand, tiny little dot as it hits the glove of McCann.
1 away on a strikeout, and Foltynewicz will face Tommy Edman now. Edman was a big part of the game yesterday in all facets. Edman had a couple of hits as he takes a ball. Cardinals throughout the year not known as a great offensive team. Bottom third, bottom half in most of the major offensive categories, but that's not the team they were in the last half of the season, and it showed up last night. Last night was almost the symbol of their season. They went 6 innings, 7 innings without doing much at all, just 1 run, and then they scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings. Goldschmidt got it started. They had the back-to-back doubles with 2 RBI doubles from Wong and Ozuna, and Mike Schultz's team put the game away late.
I'd like to say it's the shadows that are causing the problems for the Cardinals. All of those sliders have been perfect.
1-2 the count. Foltynewicz, and a swing and a bullet into right field. Across to make the catch is Joyce, playing deep anyway. Running parallel with the warning track, he hauls that one in. A line drive out. 2 up, 2 down.
The reason Markakis, a Gold Glover in right, is playing left is because Matt Joyce feels much more comfortable in right field. They play him very deep because he has a better ability to come in than to go back, but it didn't look like it on that hit or out.
Got away with a mistake right there, did Foltynewicz. 2 gone in the inning. Here comes Paul Goldschmidt now. Goldschmidt's home run was key, bringing the Cardinals within a run in the 8th, and he's on the first pitch. It's a line shot foul.
Now this is the stats you don't want to hear if you're Foltynewicz. 3 career starts against St. Louis, all here at SunTrust. 0-3 ERA, over 14 with 7 home runs allowed. He
gave up 3 home runs in a game in May. The last matchup before last night between these 2 teams was in May. Home and home in that month. Foltynewicz a different pitcher. Cardinals a different team as well. No balls, 2 strikes on Goldschmidt as he's ripped 2 pulled foul balls. These Braves fans are hungry for a good start. Braves need it. They've had to deal with a lot here in the last 24 hours. Most of it has to do with the Acuna story, but giving up the late lead, their closer, Mark Melancon, the injury to their bullpen. They had this hired gun bullpen. They've been swirling in it for a day. Glad to be back in play here in this division series as Goldschmidt stays alive.
Interesting, Foltynewicz against the lefties. His slider was almost perfect on the inside corner. He's hung 3 already to Goldschmidt in this at bat. Over half of his strikeouts come on that slider.
See what McCann has in mind. Interesting, they go multiple signs with nobody on, and Foltynewicz misses. Foltynewicz was an all-star last year, but he missed almost the entirety of spring training this year. Had a bone spur, elbow injury. Didn't make his season debut until April 27th, and his manager feels like no spring training really set him back. And it was a trip to AAA that got him back on track. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him with a breaking ball. That's a great start for Mike Foltynewicz and the Braves. Now the Braves are coming up against the Cardinal ace. Foltynewicz, and now the Braves are coming to bat. Brian Snitker. Same personnel on the position player grouping, same lineup. Acuna, Albies, Freddie Freeman at the top. Josh Donaldson, Nick Markakis, and Matt Joyce in the middle. Catcher Brian McCann, Dansby Swanson, and Mike Foltynewicz rounding out the starting 9 for the Atlanta Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. got a big ovation as he was introduced. Jack Flaherty had an historic second half run, the best pitcher in the game post All-Star break.
Yeah, just a best average in the major leagues. 167 batting average against in the first 4 innings. But his numbers in the All-Star second half of the All-Star break are historic.
Third-year big leaguer Flaherty, his second full season just completed. Wasn't a guarantee he'd be in the rotation to start the year, but not only is he in the rotation, he's going to be in that rotation, what they believe in St. Louis, for a long, long time. Had to pitch on the final Sunday of the year for Mike Schilt to help the Cardinals win the division. Acuna bounces to third. Tough hop. Nice play. Edman gets rid of it quickly. Oh, my goodness. What a play that was. Tommy Edman, almost impossible angle to throw out the speedy Acuna.
Well, you've got to play so deep because of the velocity off the bat from Acuna. And playing that deep, he had to let it go as quick as he could. And don't sleep on the great footwork of Goldschmidt at first base.
Now, running down to first base has been the story. Acuna was busting it down the line. Look at Goldschmidt. Great eye there on the opposite side of the bag. That was well done. You won't see any better than that today. Now it's Ozzie Albies. Cardinals much improved defensively, but they had their issues last night. 2 errors committed. Initially it was 3 errors. They did change one of those to a base hit. So 2 errors in the game. Albies takes a strike. Both of these teams are excellent defensively with 2 great first basemen. They save a lot of errors, Goldschmidt and Freddie Freeman. Albies late, fouls it away. 95 upstairs. Take a look at this run. You think he's in there or not?
What was interesting is his foot. Did it come off the bag before he caught it? I don't think so. I think he had the toe just scraping over the top of the bag.
Got a toe tap right there. I mean, great footwork. And his play last night in the 9th inning with Albies running, it went to a review, and it ended up going in the favor of the Cardinals. But it was the footwork of Paul Goldschmidt keeping his foot on the bag. I thought that was a monumental play as the Braves were now rallying in the 9th inning.
The most important defensive toe for the St. Louis Cardinals so far.
You got 2 of them, right? 2-2 the count on Ozzie Albies. Slaps one. The shift is on. DeYoung surrounds it. No chance to get the speedy Albies this time. And it'll be an infield hit. DeYoung did all he could, but Albies too fast, and he legs one out for the first hit of the ball game.
Albies from the left side of the box kind of follows through to the first base side, gives him an advantage. Nice try by DeYoung. There's nothing he could do as he tried to throw it on the run. Good block by Goldschmidt just to keep it in front of him like a catcher almost.
Actually hit him in the leg.
It hit him in the leg.
Yeah.
Watch how he follows through. He follows through like on his way to first base. Trying to think of the great Ralph Garr in the day for the Atlanta Braves.
Ichiro.
There you go.
Here's Freddie Freeman. The chants are out early for Freeman. Hit a bomb last night. And that's going to get away from Molina. On his way to second goes Albies. That'll be a wild pitch. Those are rare with Yadier Molina behind the plate.
We've seen a couple of wild breaking balls on early in the counts from Flaherty. Molina's probably ready for that first pitch curveball for a strike. Not even close from Flaherty.
Well, it's Flaherty's first appearance in the postseason. The superlatives are plenty from the regular season, but this is a first-timer here in this kind of setting, in this environment. Runner at second, one out. Freddie Freeman at the plate, and a swing and a miss. So today's starting 8 for the Braves, Ron, just 7 hits career against Flaherty, just 7 for 43. This group of players hitting just 163 against Flaherty. Freddie Freeman has 3 of those 7 hits.
And no home runs.
1 ball, 1 strike. Shadows now covering the mound. Still bright in the outfield. Yeah, he wants one. That's a pretty good spot for him. Freddie Freeman hit a 460-foot homer yesterday into the fountain in center field. It was a long home run that pops in and out of the glove of Molina. Yeah, the shadows don't just affect the hitter, by the way.
They affect the catcher.
With stuff of Flaherty.
They affect the umpire. I think that was a case of Molina was trying to frame that pitch. He's asking now Molina for the third base umpire did Freeman swing. He did not.
Alan Porter will get the plate here for game 2. Crew chief is over at first base, Sam Holbrook. 2-2 the count. Infield hit and a wild pitch has the Braves threatening in this first inning. Atlanta scored in the first yesterday. It was Albies who walked and scored the run on an RBI fielder's choice off the bat of Josh Donaldson. And Freeman, a swing and a miss. 3-2 now. Swing and miss stuff. That's going to be a familiar phrase today with these two pitchers. And we've seen it all day in the MLB postseason already. Glasnow and Verlander, Tampa Bay and Houston. Big power pitchers with strikeout stuff. Same goes here. Fultonevich and Flaherty. The payoff. Little roller. Freeman does not run well. Goldschmidt has time. Flaherty covers, and that'll be the second out. Albies on the play, goes to third base, but there are 2 outs in Flaherty's first postseason inning.
Well, we saw what the game plan is. He tipped it off against Freeman there with the runner on second base. Lots of hard sliders down in the strike zone to Freddie.
Josh Donaldson now with a runner at third. Former MVP of the American League. And the best one-year hired gun in all of baseball this year. Signed a 1-year, $23 million deal with the Braves. Didn't get that long-term, multi-year contract he was looking for, so he signs here with his former mate and GM, Alex Anthopoulos. They were together in Toronto, and he has been that finishing piece for the Atlanta Braves.
Is there such a thing as a $23 million deal? I think there is.
Yeah, it is, no question. Kind of reminds me of, take you back a few years, 1988, Kirk Gibson. That was a big finishing piece for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And he brings that kind of talent, energy. Always ready to play, Josh Donaldson. He's been a huge piece to the puzzle here in Atlanta this year. Something they did not have a season ago. Donaldson was with the Indians in the postseason last season. Flaherty behind in the count, 2-0 with Albies at third. And a swing and a miss.
2 outs with runners in scoring position all year against Flaherty, batting .109. All the numbers.
Atlanta was 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position yesterday. Two and one now on Donaldson. And a swing and a line drive left field, base hit. In to score is Albies. Josh Donaldson, another first inning RBI, back-to-back games. The Braves score first.
Well, after getting behind him, he threw a couple of sliders and decided to come inside with a 2-seam fastball, and it was up. And Donaldson didn't miss it.
Jack Flaherty entered this start today in game 2 with 19 consecutive scoreless innings, had not allowed an extra base hit, finishing the season strong, and now gives one up here in the first inning of this NLDS. Nick Markakis will bat for Atlanta. Ozzie Albies, a 2-strike hit. His first hit in his career against Flaherty, but the infield hit set the table for Donaldson. That misses. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's the 5th hitter that Flaherty has faced so far in this game. He has not thrown a first pitch strike yet.
Flaherty had 225 strikeouts during the regular season. Big strikeout performer. And is behind 2-0. Markakis, what a play by Goldschmidt. Lays out, steps on the bag, and the inning is over. The Gold Glover, Paul Goldschmidt, showing that form in his first inning, but Josh Donaldson strikes again. Big piece. Donaldson delivers the first run of the game with an RBI single. We go to the second. Atlanta with an RBI single, 2-out RBI single by Josh Donaldson. And now the Cardinals back at the plate against Mike Fultonevich. 3 up, 3 down, first inning for Fultonevich. First pitch to Marcell Ozuna, strike 1. Big game yesterday for Ozuna. Had a key hit, 2 RBI double in that 9th inning. Also had a double in the 6th. He was on 3 times. And a hitter that struggled in the month of September turned it on when the lights were brightest yesterday. 2 out of 4 at the plate. Cardinals remaking their offense 2 years ago. Ozuna coming from the Marlins in a trade, and then the next offseason, Goldschmidt. There's a bouncer to third. Donaldson, a little awkward with the feet, but makes the play. Had to jump in front of that one at the last moment. Nicely done by Josh Donaldson. There is out number 1 for Fultonevich in the second.
Again, I think this is just another example of the ball leaving the darkness of the infield because of the shadows and going into the light. A little awkward footwork by Donaldson, but gets the job done anyway.
Has a great throwing arm, an excellent defender in his own right. You can say that about most of the defenders that are on the field for both teams. Just 1 error in his last 60. So 1 away, and here is Yadier Molina. First ball swinging, that's past Donaldson into left field. Molina with an ambush, and he pounces on the first offering from Fultonevich. That is the first hit for the Cardinals. Mike Fultonevich coming back from AAA has been a different guy. Lauren talked to his manager about that. What's the story there, Lauren?
Yeah, BA, he went from earning a top 10 finish in Cy Young voting to being sent down to AAA in a short period of time. As you said, he was trying to overcome mental and physical inconsistencies. His pitching coach said, look, the stuff is there. I need to see a consistent release point, better mechanics. Snicker told me this morning he was treading water in the major leagues. I told him, go get right. I'll see you on the other side. And here he is, guys, on the other side.
As he deals to Colton Wong, a swing and a miss. Thank you, Lauren. There is something to be said about a trip to AAA, even though it's not that far from here.
Well, but it's still humbling for a guy coming off his best season in the major leagues. But he was 2-5. His ERA was over 6. He was lost, and he needed to go to AAA and find himself.
6 weeks down in AAA. Another swing and a miss. Wong down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now remember, Brian Snitker's been in this organization 43 years. He's been the guy on the other side of it as the manager of AAA when you get big leaguers down and try to get them re-prepared to go to the major leagues.
Well, he has responded so well. He gets the trust to earn this game 2 start. A swing and a miss. He struck him out on 3 pitches. Fultonevich, after the single by Molina, picks up his 3rd K in his first 5 outs.
Couple of breaking balls early in the count. And another one to put him away. This one up in the strike zone. And the swing underneath from Colton Wong. So the slider has really been the pitch, the go-to pitch for Fultonevich early.
There's that grip on that slider across the horseshoe seam. Here is DeYoung now, also swinging at the first pitch. DeYoung has some history against Fulton-Evich. He has homered off of him. He's 3 for 10 in his career. Big power bat for the St. Louis Cardinals, who hits 7th in this order. Yesterday he hit 6th in the batting order. He and Colton Wong flip-flop with the right-handed starter on the mound for the Braves. Keuchel yesterday, Fulton-Evich today.
The Cardinals have 4 hitters in their lineup that have gone deep against Fulton-Evich.
DeYoung with 30 homers this year. Drove in 78. Excellent defensive shortstop. It's that one sharply. Oh, and Albies boots it. That's going to trickle into right field, and Molina will stop around second base. Boy, how about that? 2 of the best second basemen in the National League, Wong and Albies, and now both have errors.
Again, singing the praises of the defense the first 2 games, and the defense has been sloppy. Watch the one-handed action there by Albies. That's highly unusual. You would think on the case of that he would have broken down, two-handed that ground ball, kept it in front of him. Instead he played it off to the side, and a mistake from Albies.
E4 on Ozzie Albies. He committed just 4 errors all year, and he has a chance to win the Gold Glove in the National League. He and Wong will probably be the top 2 candidates for that Gold Glove award, given to the best defender. Just his 2nd error in his last 85 games. And from a middle infielder, that's saying something. There's a lot of activity up the middle. Harrison Bader takes a first pitch strike. These breaking balls are all finishing high in the zone for Fulton-Evich. We've seen a trend of high sliders. If you were watching the Astros earlier today, you'll notice that Justin Verlander uses that high slider to his advantage. I don't know if these are by design or if there's not enough finish on it, but it is something to watch.
Something to watch also is Harrison Bader. He tied for 4th this year with 30 RBIs out of the 8th slot in the lineup. So he didn't hit for a high average. Boy, he came through in the clutch.
I mean, everything you've said about Fulton-Evich and his trip to AAA, you could use the same verbiage about Harrison Bader. He was also sent to AAA Memphis to try to get his swing right. Not necessarily needing a humbling, but he needed to realize there's more to it and had to especially learn how to hit the breaking ball. Hasn't really done that since he's come back. He is a supreme center fielder, though, and he's been in the starting lineup each of the last 2 games. 1-2 the count. 2 on for the Cardinals. 2 outs in the inning, and he bounces one in. McCann puts that big body in front of it.
Well, these 2 catchers are 2 of the best in the game. Veterans who know not only how to close the gap, but also take it off that chest protector, which really deadens it.
And a slow runner at second base in Molina. DeYoung over at first base, reaching on the error. Braves score in the bottom of the first. A 2-out hit from Donaldson. And Bader trying to deliver the same as he swings and misses. A strikeout for Fulton-Evich. Harrison Bader strikes out with 2 on. Still 1-0 Atlanta. Braves are coming up. Authentic on-field jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear. Suit up with your team at the official source, MLBshop.com. Live wire experience here in the Battery. SunTrust Park here in Cobb County, just outside Atlanta. Jack Flaherty back to work. 1-0 Braves. Scoring on a Donaldson RBI single with 2 outs. Matt Joyce takes strike 1 from Flaherty. Joyce, an all-star with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2011. He's bounced around quite a bit since. Went from one of the most reliable pinch hitters to an everyday role with the Atlanta Braves. Some injuries, Ender Inciarte namely. They lost a big part of their bench because of those injuries. Charlie Culberson and Ender Inciarte gone. Johan Camargo, that's another big loss for Atlanta. They felt like they had picked up the bench from last year, an area of weakness a season ago, but all of these injuries late, and it really tapped into what Brian Snitker believed he had ready for the postseason. 0-2 pitch, and Joyce in the air. That'll hang up for Harrison Bader. He's got the sunglasses on. He makes a play for out number 1. Time now for Getting More, presented by Rocket Mortgage, by Quicken Loans. Yadier Molina and Brian McCann, 2 veteran catchers, 2 of the most respected catchers in the game. Played for the Braves early in his career, came up with them after being drafted in 2002, and he's been with the Yankees, a World Series champion with the Astros, and now returns home.
Well, I think the one thing that makes sense, that if you look at Brian McCann's career, every place he goes, his teams win. Winning player.
He was pinch hit for yesterday by Francisco Cervelli. Didn't finish the game. And McCann with the shift on, bangs one right into that shift. Wong is there for out number 2.
You know, it's interesting. I've watched Brian McCann's entire career, and I don't know of anyone more effective by how the shift has changed. Anything on the ground hit hard, just like that, has been a 4 to 3 for him.
You could call Ted Williams the OG of the shift against,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
But McCann, Mark Teixeira, I put Mike Moustakas in that category.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the guys that had the shifts on before shifts were cool around the league. Matter of fact, in the postseason, our experience the last few years, you start to see managers soften those shifts a little bit as players do shorten up, go the opposite field. More small ball anyway, at least the last 2 seasons.
I think they just take a better 2-strike approach.
Dansby Swanson, a line shot, base hit, pass Wong into right center, and Swanson with a 2-out single. That's a 3rd hit already for the Atlanta Braves against Jack Flaherty. Flaherty normally dominates the bottom of the order. He dominates all hitters, but he really takes the 7th, 8th, 9th place hitter. Usually that is the pitcher in the 9-hole, but that group of 3 there hitting just 119 against Jack Flaherty this season, so he does not give the top of the order base runners to turn with.
Well, you love to retire the 8th hitter as a pitcher, because then you have the pitcher leading off the next inning. Foltynewicz, not much of a hitter.
Gives an at-bat, clear that pitcher spot. That base hit by Swanson. His heart isn't in it.
He's from the school of swing hard in case you hit it.
And step in the bucket in case it's anywhere close. The Al Simmons method, who's in the Hall of Fame. His nickname was Bucketfoot. Bucketfoot Simmons. Doesn't usually work for pitchers at the plate, though.
They didn't use the phrase then, but he had really good bat the ball skills.
That's right. That's right. Jack Flaherty, after giving up a 2-out single. It is part of the story, though, as in the National League, your goal is to have the pitcher bat in the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the Atlanta Braves pitching coach, Rick Kranitz, has developed this system for his pitchers on the Atlanta side. It's a scoring system that's bigger than ERA or strikeouts or wins or losses. It's a point system, and one of the positive points for Rick Kranitz and the Atlanta Braves is if you can get to the 3rd inning, and at some point in that inning, preferably 3rd in the inning, face the pitcher. But you always want that pitcher batting in the 3rd inning, and that base hit off the bat of Swanson will not allow them to do that this inning. There's Kranitz. Always studying. And down he goes. Almost unfair. He wipes him out, but Swanson has the base hit, clears Foltynewicz. Foltynewicz is off to a great start in what he's paid to do, and that's pitch. The Game 2 starter, 2 scoreless. Back on the mound for the 3rd after this.
Slider work 18, 15 for strikes. He's striking out 4 of the 6 outs that he's gotten, and they've all come on the slider. And the big one was to Bader with a runner on second base in scoring position.
Mike Foltynewicz, the Game 2 starter with Mike Soroka ready for Game 3 in St. Louis. That's the breakdown today thus far. He's been relying heavily upon that slider, and his first pitch is a fastball to his mound opponent, Jack Flaherty. Pitcher against pitcher. We send it down to Lauren Shahadi.
And Jack Flaherty having a monster second half, but never far from his mind, BA. And Ron is his late friend and Angels former pitcher Tyler Skaggs. They both went to Harvard Westlake in California. Jack says he writes his initials and number in the dirt before every start. Before every batter, he says, I walk behind the mound and I see his initials. He's always with me. I can feel him. I can feel his energy.
It's not only amazing for Jack, but how many pitchers throughout the league that have been affected and knew Tyler Skaggs well.
That Harvard Westlake connection, Southern California connection. A lot of major league players work out in the LA area as Flaherty strikes out. That's number 5 for Foltynewicz.
5 the first time through.
Braves go 1 for 9 first time through with 5 Ks. There was an error. So Foltynewicz back to the top of the order. Dexter Fowler now with 1 away. Tommy Edman to follow. Edman's had the hardest hit ball, line drive out to right field. Braves score in the first. Donaldson with the 2-out RBI. And Fowler on the first pitch. Shift is on. Right there is Albies, and there is out number 2. Well, just going back to that notion with the pitcher at the plate. Again, you go through a National League roll call. If you can have that pitcher in the 3rd inning, you understand why Kranitz feels like that's important. That usually is an out. If it's to lead off an inning, it can set you on your way.
We hear this all the time. First pitch strikes are the most important for pitchers. I'll argue first outs are the most important. If you get that first out in the inning, it always invariably seems if you get in trouble, it's with 2 outs, not 1.
9 out of 10 first pitch strikes for Foltynewicz, and a lot of those on the breaking ball. Here is Tommy Edman now. 2 gone in the Cardinal 3rd. Strike 1. 10 out of 11.
First time I saw Tommy Edman was in a spring training game, and he got 4 hits in the game. That's hard to do.
He has made a major impact on the Cardinals, a team that was sitting at 500 88 games into the year. They were 44 and 44. Edman came along about that time, and it changed everything. He's been a big piece. He's taken the starts away from Matt Carpenter, who now is available on the bench. Carpenter will get starts typically against right-handers, but that's not the case here today. Edman remains. 0-2 pitch. Throws it foul in the Atlanta dugout. Got him in swing mode. Almost hit Charlie Culberson, who suffered one of the worst injuries of the year, hit in the face by a pitch earlier this season. There's a lot of netting that lines those dugouts, but not in that spot.
There you go.
It's got the law involved. 0-2 pitch. A rollover. Freeman is there. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Foltynewicz. Picks up another K. He's got 5. Top of the order coming up for the Atlanta Braves. Acuna, Albies, Freeman. 1-0. Braves lead. Dodgers series. Coverage starts at 9. Tomorrow there's an ALDS doubleheader on FS1. At 5 Eastern, it's Game 2, Twins Yankees, followed by Game 2, Rays Astros. 4 games in play. All the postseason series are either underway or will be underway by day's end. Great day to skip school, skip work, hang out at home, and watch a little baseball. And we're glad you're with us here on TBS. Brian Anderson with Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi. Today's game produced by The Sponge, Jeff Randolph, directed by Matt Lipp. Flaherty back on the mound to start his 3rd inning. Top of the Atlanta batting order with Acuna, Albies, and Freeman coming up.
This will be his first big test of the game.
Gave up a 2-out hit in the 2nd. He's given up 3 hits thus far. And a swing and a miss. Acuna. 2-2 now. Big, strong, power right-hander, Jack Flaherty. And a swing and a miss. Flaherty wipes him out with a breaking ball and a strikeout to start the third inning. Moments ago, Lauren Shahadi caught up with Cardinals skipper Mike Shildt.
Mike, long first inning for Flaherty, quick second. Has he settled in your eyes?
Yeah, settled in. Just a little hyped up, probably a little bit excited. Much rather have him that way. Settled in, started locating his pitches, quick getting more like Jack.
How do you get production against Fulte?
Yeah, we got to get the ball in the middle of the plate, get him up a little bit. You know, looks like he's got all his pitches working. Just got to wait him out and still stay aggressive when he gives us something to hit.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Lauren.
You know, as far as Flaherty is concerned, that was a great question by Lauren, is that you get out there for the first pitch in postseason and you let it go while you're warming up and you go to yourself, whew, that feels a little different. And it takes you a while to get kind of locked in because you have such adrenaline. You feel like you can throw the ball through the catcher, and you can see right there against Acuna in that last at-bat, everything under control.
I've heard you say many times, a postseason inning feels like 3, especially when you're just starting out. Flaherty making his first career postseason start today. I also love the fact it was a little thing that he said, just a quick little mention. I'd rather him have him that way.
Yeah.
And I think Mike Shildt has such a great feel for his ball club and can turn those losses into wins, right? Not just game losses, but I mean things that you might bring up. For example, the errors yesterday. We asked Mike Shildt about the errors. There were 2 errors in the game. He goes, you know what? We don't want the errors. We don't like the errors, but I love the process of how those errors were committed. Meaning, Tommy Edman, he was strong. He took it on the chest. He kept the ball in front. It just ricocheted. DeYoung trying to make a play. Wong was trying to make a play. He's immediately turning that into a positive. And you know his players are going to, they get that, they hear that, and immediately falls in line as a player's manager that has their back but also navigates his way through games. He's been impressive.
I had told you before we met him, before this series, that you were going to be impressed with Shildt, and part of it is he's got great, I'm talking about great communication skills.
Albies takes a ball up and in from Flaherty, 97 with the fastball. These two managers, they're such a big part of the story of this series, honing their craft in the minor leagues, coaching first, then managing in the minor leagues for years, decades. Finally getting their chance as Flaherty wipes out Albies. He strikes him out. And it'll be back-to-back Ks here in the third inning. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Flaherty, his first 3 of the game.
Interesting sequence of pitches. The pitch prior was right under the chin of Albies. And then he ran one upstairs again, but this one away. And kind of a feeble swing for Albies.
2 outs in the inning. It'll be Freddie Freeman now. Bounced out in the first inning. A little ground ball over to first base. Another great year for Freddie Freeman, Ron. He still becomes every year the most under talked about MVP candidate, but he just keeps stacking up numbers. He struggled at the end of the year and fell under the 300 batting average mark at 295.
Tries to hit everything into the left center field gap. If he gets a breaking ball down and in or something soft in, then yes, he will pull it. But his goal is left center field gap.
Freeman takes a ball. The home run he hit last night was important for the Braves for a couple of reasons. He's been dealing with an elbow injury, bone spurs, and he hadn't hit for much power. Hadn't hit a home run since September 1st, as a matter of fact, through the end of the regular season. And then the one he hit last night made up for a lot of it. 460-foot home run into the fountain in center field. Look where this thing ended up. This was a big one as well because it got the Braves within a run in the 9th inning.
And if not for Goldschmidt's toe, we would have had a tie game.
Good point. 3-1 the count, and that's a strike.
Ooh.
Freeman had discarded the bat.
Freeman didn't like the first backdoor slider from Flaherty that Porter called for a strike, and obviously he didn't like this one either.
Multiple speeds, multiple angles on that slider from Flaherty. That is his gift, that he can make that pitch look differently. Here's a 3-2, and there's the sharp slider, misses down and in. So Freeman draws the walk with 2 outs. That is the 3rd consecutive inning that Flaherty has allowed a 2-out base runner, 2 hits and a walk now, and the inning is extended for Josh Donaldson.
So remember, every at bat is kind of tied into the next at bat. So Donaldson got a hit on a fastball that was inside that he hit the left field. But he's got tremendous power. If you try to throw a fastball away, tremendous power to right and right center.
Let's see where Flaherty goes to start this sequence with Donaldson. Always ready to swing at that first pitch. And he swings at the first pitch. Bouncing ball. Edman across the diamond in time to retire the side. So Jack Flaherty, after giving up a run on the first, back-to-back scoreless innings, we head to the 4th in Atlanta. Braves have a 1-0 lead here in Game 2 of the National League Division Series. Paul Goldschmidt ready to lead off for Atlanta. Mike Foltynewicz back on the mound.
Big test for Foltynewicz. He's taking care of business against the best hitters in the National League this year. 3-hole hitters just hitting .228 against Folty.
3 scoreless innings for Foltynewicz. Goldschmidt, first time up, struck out. That's how the first inning ended. Foltynewicz with 5 Ks thus far, has not walked a batter. Pitched around a 2-out error in the second inning. And Goldschmidt takes a strike. Maybe a little strobe effect now as the sun continues to set and you start getting into some unique shadows
from the light stanchions and from the openings in the stadium.
Bright, sunny, hot day here in Atlanta. 96 degrees as we hit the air. This is the first 3-ball count of the game for Foltynewicz. And Goldschmidt, a grounder to short, backhanded by Swanson, and there is out number 1. Moments ago, Lauren caught up with Braves manager Brian Snitker.
Heavy on the slider from Folty. Is that one of the differences since coming back from AAA?
Yeah, he's kind of refined it and got it going again. He didn't have that early. Fastball command's been really good too. But, you know, he's going to a good put-away pitch for him.
Do you appreciate Josh on offense or defense more?
Wow.
Both?
Yeah, both. I mean, I had no idea he was such a good defender because I hadn't seen him that much. But he's all around. He's some kind of player.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, thank you.
What a great fit Josh Donaldson has been as Foltynewicz misses to Ozuna. I mean, we talked about the finishing piece, but he brings more than just the numbers he's producing on the field. He's that clubhouse guy, comes with great energy every day, goes at it hard. I mean, if you're an opponent of Josh Donaldson, he is one of those guys you cannot stand.
That's right.
If you are his teammate, he is one of your favorite teammates, and they're talking about a potential extension here for Josh Donaldson. He's been great for them. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ozuna sounded like he broke his bat. Little flare is going to fall for a base hit. Marcell Ozuna, after grounding out in the second inning, finds the outfield grass. His first hit of the game, his 3rd hit of the series already.
Well, the pitch is supposed to be away. It ends up running across the plate and jamming Ozuna. But Ozuna is probably one of the strongest hitters in the game and has enough to get that into, drop it into center field. One of the things that you get from analytics before the game about the opposing team is you have to know that Yadier Molina loves to swing at the first pitch. Almost 48% of the time he is swinging at that first pitch. You've got to make it a quality one.
Molina, when the first pitch single his last time up, takes a strike this time. Situational hitter, probably the best way to describe Molina. If you need to avoid a ground ball, he'll hit it in the air. If you need a base hit to right, he'll do that. If you need a home run, he can do that as well.
Muscle up.
He can. Just a smart player. Fountain of youth for Yadier Molina, 36 years of age. His first postseason game, he was 21 years old back in 2004. He's competing in his 10th postseason now. This is his 91st game. That is the most among active players. And Molina, a lazy fly ball to right field. Joyce will settle under it. And Ozuna back to first. There is out number 2. Foltynewicz, 2 outs, runner at first with Wong coming up. Good pitch to get Molina out in front. Ozuna, who's dealt with hand and finger injuries. It takes him a while to prepare over there. Multiple oven mitts. Had to stop the game briefly yesterday. Molina stepped out at the plate waiting for Ozuna to get the hand and finger protectors on. Looks like a lobster. Two-men are out. Colton Wong at the plate, a strikeout victim on 3 pitches his last time up. Wong came up as an offensive-minded prospect in the Cardinal system. Came to the big leagues, improved his defense. He's turned into a Gold Glove caliber defender. He's changed his batting stance, his style at the plate. He's become a much more complete hitter. Not trying to hit 30, 35 homers anymore is Colton Wong, but he has become a weapon at the plate.
Much more patient hitter, controls the strike zone much better.
Just keep an eye on that front leg. That's the big change for Colton Wong. Just a little toe tap as he comes up empty, a swing and miss.
Foltynewicz just stayed inside on him. When you look at his stance from last season, big leg kick, big swing. This year, just a toe tap, no big leg kick, much more under control, and his swing is much more under control. That's why he hit 285.
Still has pop in his bat. Wong hit 11 homers this year. Foltynewicz with 2 strikes on Wong. He deals, he misses down and in. That's been a sweet spot. You don't think of breaking balls and down and in as the sweet spot against a left-handed hitter, but he's found a little hole there with Colton Wong.
As long as you don't throw it for a strike. In the National League, post All-Star break, Ketel Marte hit 358. He was first. Second was Wong at 342.
Ozuna, the runner at first, the 2-2, and Wong sends one deep to right. Joyce back at the wall and will make the catch. Inning over. Gave it a ride, but a long, loud out. Foltynewicz keeps the zeros on the board against the Redbirds. The Division Series, 2 division winners. Cardinals won the National League Central by 2 games. Had to go to the last day to hold off the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Atlanta Braves clinched their division in the East on the 20th of September. They kind of cruised in the National League East into this postseason. Cardinals played well in September, and they won the opener last night. A comeback win for the Cardinals, scoring 6 runs in the last 2 innings. Flaherty against Markakis, just laid the bat on it. Played a little pepper with him, and Nick Markakis with a base hit. Leadoff single in the 4th for Atlanta.
Remember, Markakis had that bounce double over the head of Goldschmidt in yesterday's game and scored a run. And this time, fastball away, going with it, dumps it into left field.
First leadoff batter to reach base today for either team as Markakis puts Flaherty back in the stretch. Matt Joyce at the plate for Atlanta. Flew out to center field his last time up.
At this point in the order, you won't see a lot of manufacturing of runs by this Braves team. They are here to hit. Very occasional hit and run by Brian Snitker if he gets a count, but he's looking for an extra base hit from Joyce.
Joyce on the first pitch, a base hit. Into center field it goes. Markakis will head to third. The throw comes in. Markakis in there easily. Matt Joyce A single in the first pitch. First and third, nobody out for Atlanta.
Remember, it was Markakis in right field yesterday that was slow played by Dexter Fowler, who went first to third. Well, this time Markakis reads the ball up the middle, hits sharply to Harrison Bader, who's got a good arm and very good at charging, although he plays very deep, and Markakis cuts the bag perfectly and is in safe at third.
Braves are down at the bottom of their order. Brian McCann at the plate, first and third, nobody out. And McCann, the 7th place hitter, takes a ball.
I think what you were talking about before, Brian, is true right now. A little softening of the shift with runners at first and third, more in traditional position for the defense of the Cardinals.
Looks like the Cardinals will concede a run to turn 2 here with nobody out as McCann gets jammed and a pop-up in the infield. Big pitch by Flaherty, and there is out number 1 of this 4th inning. Runners stay put for the Braves.
McCann slammed the bat.
So this becomes a key hitter in this 4th inning now. You got the pitcher due up next. Swanson coming up, and McCann gets sawed off. That
all the veteran hitters trying to do is hit something to the outfield in the air, but he got jammed and a pop out to third base. Remember, it's Swanson who hit that ball off Edman in last night's ball game and has already had a hit in his first at bat.
Now that gave Atlanta the lead. That was in the 6th inning. Infield hit and an RBI for Swanson. 2 runs ended up scoring on that batted ball, made it 3-1 Atlanta at that point. Swanson really struggled this year with runners in scoring position. He was 3rd worst in the National League in that category. Hit 187 this season in scoring position. He's got Markakis there now. Strongest arm in the outfield for the Cardinals is in center field with Bader. Fowler throws it well. He's accurate. Ozuna used to throw it well. He does not any longer. Had some arm issues. Got him at the corners. 8th place hitter Swanson puts a bunt down foul.
Well, interesting. Snicker playing some small ball here. That's more like a safety squeeze there. Get the bunt down and Markakis will come.
Bench coach Walt Weiss next to Snicker. A lot of activity in that St. Louis Cardinal bullpen. Flaherty has him at the corners. He is their ace. Need a long start out of him. Cardinals are trying to go up 2-0 in this series, but the Braves have an early lead and are threatening now. They scored a run in the first. They've got him at the corners here with 1 out.
The chanting of Dansby here at SunTrust.
1 ball, 1 strike. Flaherty deals. Swanson takes a ball. 2-1 now. Swanson had missed some time with an injury, a heel injury. Came off the disabled list August 26. He was down for about a month, but a slumping bat. Remember, he was injured during the postseason last year, had a hand injury. This is his first run in the postseason. And that big hit yesterday giving him some confidence. 2-1 in the dirt. Molina smothers. 3 balls and a strike now.
If you're Flaherty, you can see yourself through this inning if you can retire Swanson. This breaking ball off the plate. Nice play by Molina because of the lack of hitting from Foltynewicz.
Flaherty in a tough spot. Hitters count with Swanson at the plate. That was our T-Mobile extended coverage. See the runner at third. Markakis went to third on the single by Joyce. 3-1. Swanson takes a strike.
You almost, as Swanson, can't take a strike there. With Foltynewicz behind you, you've got to be ready to swing the bat. Have to.
Just wonder if Swanson makes an out. Foltynewicz due next. If Brian Snitker would let it ride, he does have a lead.
He's got to let it ride. Foltynewicz is throwing the ball too well.
Foltynewicz with 4 scoreless innings. 3-2. Runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw down to second. That is by design. Try to get the run home. Now a snap throw to third, and Markakis is out. The Braves trying to steal a run from the Cardinals, who execute to perfection. 2 crisp throws, and the inning ends. A strikeout, and then a 2-4-5 putout to get Markakis at third base. Inning over, still 1-0.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Utz Snacks, the crunch that connects us all. And by T-Mobile, introducing its newest, most powerful signal ever. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile is with you.
Well, boy, what a play that was just executed perfectly, right, by the Cardinals in the prior inning. We'll take a little look at that later.
Foltynewicz ready to go, and Paul DeJong takes a strike. It was a play, and put yourself in the seat of the manager, Brian Snitker, right there. So I think on the surface it looks like a play where you've just run yourself out of a potential big inning. But I mean, Snitker knows better than anybody his pitcher, who's coming up next, is a marked man at home plate for Jack Flaherty.
I mean, Foltynewicz really has no chance against Jack Flaherty, so they tried to steal a run. I mean, I haven't seen those kind of plays since college, but you also put pressure on the defense, and the Cardinals were up for it. They executed it perfectly.
Foltynewicz spot in the batting order due to lead off now after that strike him out, throw him out double play. Strike throwing machine today, Mike Foltynewicz. And on top of his game when they needed him. 4 scoreless innings as DeJong takes ball 2. Just 2 hits for the Cardinals. Molina had a single on the first pitch in the second inning, and then a single by Ozuna in the 4th. That was a jam shot single into center field. And a swing and a miss. He got him, a strikeout.
Well, this is the play I was talking about. One, you got to love Molina with a bullet. Everyone's got a great arm in this infield. Wong runs. Once he sees that Markakis makes a move, he's got a cannon through. Also, when he throws him out at third base. What Markakis was looking for there is somehow, some way, Wong to not pay attention, take a couple of more steps. He would have tried to go home. But I have no problem with Snitker trying that play because he's trying somehow to steal a run against the Cardinals defense. They are up to it perfectly.
There is strike 1 to Harrison Bader. Bader with 1 away, a swing and a foul. Quickly 0-2 on the Cardinal 8th place hitter. Strikeout victim his first time up.
Foltynewicz, who is a pitcher that wears his heart on his sleeve, knows that he hung a slider to Bader there. He's mad at himself, but Bader fouled it straight back.
Pitcher spot due next in Jack Flaherty. Here comes Foltynewicz, and a swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball. Back-to-back Ks to start the 5th inning.
Made the mistake on the prior breaking ball. No mistake on this one. Just 2 excellent ones to Bader. He struck out both times. Foul tipped into the glove of Brian McCann.
And now Jack Flaherty will bat in this 1-0 game. Mentioned that Flaherty, and we showed you the images of him scratching out the initials of Tyler Skaggs, both from Southern California. The connection with Harvard Westlake is Jack Flaherty, Max Fried, the Braves left-hander, and Lucas Giolito of the White Sox. These 3 pitchers all pitched together on the same high school team at Harvard Westlake. Skaggs went to Santa Monica High School. There is a bond, a fraternity of the LA area, Southern California area baseball players. That includes the reigning NL MVP, Christian Yelich, among others. And you imagine that? I mean, that was almost like a hired gun high school team. That's a private high school.
Can you imagine some 15-year-olds? Who do you got tonight? Is it Giolito, Fried, or Flaherty?
Giolito and Fried were seniors the year Flaherty was the sophomore starter. That was back in 2012. What a team. And they're all in the big leagues, and 2 of them are in this series. We might see Fried out of the bullpen a little bit later. Flaherty, a little flare in the right field. Joyce will run it down. 3 up, 3 down. Boy, the Braves are getting everything and more out of Mike Foltynewicz. He's got 5 scoreless on the board in Atlanta in Game 2. Auto Trader returns. Zion Williamson and the Pelicans pay the defending champion Raptors a visit, followed by LeBron versus Kawhi and the new look Clippers. Battle of LA. Check your local listings. NBA opening night. One of the biggest Laker fans on the planet is that guy right there, Jack Flaherty. Huge Kobe Bryant fan. And Flaherty down in this game 1-0, but he is still on the mound as he works in the 5th inning. And now this becomes a key inning. You'll see the Cardinal bullpen active with 1 base runner, you would think. He's got the pitcher leading off in Foltynewicz. And then to the top of the order, and the 3rd time around, Acuna and Albies. Cardinals execute that strike him out, throw him out double play. And that forces Foltynewicz to lead off this inning. And Ronnie, I'm sure it may have briefly passed through the mind of Brian Snitker prior to the last inning that he could pinch hit for Foltynewicz, but he's rolling.
You can't. There's 5 scoreless innings. You've lost one of your guys in the bullpen, Chris Martin, yesterday to an oblique. This is the kind of game that you've got to roll Foltynewicz as far as you can and as deep as you can. I mean, the worst thing that's going to come from this situation, you would think, is that Foltynewicz will make his out, but that brings up their core 4, Acuna Jr., Albies, and more if they can get on base.
Foltynewicz on the mound has retired 10 of his last 11, and he puts it in play. That's a victory for Foltynewicz as Flaherty shovels it over to first base for out number 1. That gives us a chance to check in with Casey Stern in our Atlanta studios. Hello, Casey. World-class starting pitching matchup right there for Game 2.
3 scoreless innings by Strasburg in the wild card game to get the win.
Acuna on the first pitch fouls it back. I think about Kershaw, just seeing that image of Kershaw, then watching the game last night and seeing Sandy Koufax in the stands last night. That connection between the great Sandy Koufax and Dodger lore and Clayton Kershaw, and both threw the big curveballs. You could say the same about Jack Flaherty and Bob Gibson. Those 2 have formed a fantastic friendship. They've talked about their sliders. Gibson had one of the all-time great sliders. Flaherty is starting to trend that way. And we say hello to Mr. Gibson, watching in Omaha, fighting cancer like only he knows how, and doing a great job. And we always appreciate those connections with Bob Gibson. All right. You want images? We'll give you images. The Gibson slider.
That's the last one in the '68 World Series. The 17 punch-outs that day. Tim McCarver catching.
And then how does it shape up here with Jack Flaherty's slider? Pretty tight.
Well, if you've ever spent any time around Bob Gibson, you're not going to say that Jack Flaherty's slider's better than Bob Gibson. I'll tell you that right now.
It works the same with Kershaw and Koufax, right? Kershaw will not even receive that. His curveball is close to Sandy Koufax. But those organizations, Dodgers and Cardinals, have those great connections as Albies flies out, and that'll be the inning. And that is a crisp and clean 3 up, 3 down inning for Jack Flaherty. 1-0 Braves. Its newest, most powerful signal ever. No signal goes farther. No signal is more reliable, whether you're home or away. T-Mobile is with you. Late afternoon, early evening here in Atlanta. Cardinals Braves game 2. Fultonevich back on the mound. Dexter Fowler leads off. Cardinals go back to the top of their order. Fultonevich has retired 5 in a row, 10 of his last 11. Fowler is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out.
He has 7 strikeouts on the game, all on sliders. You can see the first, second, and third time through the order. The magical third time through the order. Hitters are hitting over 300.
He's pushed that third time through till the 6th inning, though, and that's key for Fultonevich. Fultonevich arriving back to the big leagues after his demotion to AAA. Has been a different pitcher. He's had a great run in his last 10 starts as Fowler lifts that one in the air. Coming in is Acuna. And one away here in the 6th inning as Fowler is 0 for 3. Fowler now 8 for his last 60, including the postseason. A slumping hitter at the top of this Cardinal batting order. One away for Tommy Edman now. Talking to Brian Snitker before the game, knowing that Fultonevich has a pressure start after the Cardinals won the opener yesterday in this best-of-5 series. Just said, gotta hang in there. Just let us hang in there. Snitker believes in his offense. He should. It's one of the most prolific offenses in all of baseball. But he has hung in there against Jack Flaherty. He's matched him pitch per pitch. He's actually bested Flaherty through the first 5+ innings. Fultonevich has only given up 2 hits to the Cardinals. Right back to the box. Easy out. 1-3 on the putout, and Edman is retired.
One of the rare curveballs from Fultonevich gets him out number 2.
And with 2 gone in this 6th inning, it'll be Paul Goldschmidt. Here's the hook.
The big hook. Edman kind of jams himself in the comebacker back to Fultonevich.
So interesting that so many of these breaking balls for Fultonevich, the sliders and the curves, are finishing upstairs on the Cardinal hitters. Goldschmidt on the first pitch in the air, left center, going to hang up. Markakis will put it away. That is a 3-up, 3-down inning, 7-pitch inning for Mike Fultonevich. 6 strong, 1-0 Braves.
And by Geico, save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We got an old-fashioned pitchers duo going here in Atlanta. The storied franchise is matching up for the 5th time in the postseason. Braves, Cardinals. Flaherty starts. Freddie Freeman with a slider strike. Slider's been the name of the game for Jack Flaherty. He's got a good one going now. Braves scored a run off him in the 1st inning on a Donaldson 2-out RBI single. Flaherty has had base runners to manage through the first 4 innings, but just posted his first 3-up, 3-down inning in the 5th. Has 5 strikeouts now. Flaherty with 1 walk. Big play in this game. The Braves with 2 on, back-to-back singles in the 4th inning. Flaherty got McCann to pop up in the infield with runners at the corners. They could not advance, and then they strike him out, throw him out, double play, cutting down the runner at third, Nick Markakis. That ended the inning. Here's the 0-2, and Freeman takes a ball, and it was close. Molina stuck it, didn't get the call from Alan Porter.
I think this is amazing. Guys who can throw 95 to 100 miles an hour will continue to spin that ball. Flaherty and Fultonevich both.
And now the 1-2, and Freeman. Nice play on a backhand by DeYoung. Right away. Had him well positioned. That sets us up for our premier play presented by Corona Premier. What are you seeing in the slider of Flaherty?
Well, you know what's he not only has the real hard one that he will use, especially when he's ahead in the count, but see that slower slider that he'll throw backdoor to lefties to get into the count. That one to Freddie. He threw that on a 3-1 count. and that one to Donaldson is down. So he's got two different styles of breaking balls that he can throw to go along with that 99-mile-an-hour gas.
Different tilts, different velocities.
All you have to do is look at the numbers. The hitters are just not hitting at a high clip when you can throw a breaking ball for a strike. You know, a lot of times when they throw that slider and they want it to be hard, they don't want to throw it as hard. They don't want to grip it as hard as they grip a regular breaking ball. They grip it nice and easy and really fire it. When they want to throw one to get it over, sometimes they'll grip it a little deeper into their palm. The more they dip deeper into their palm, won't have as much speed. It'll have more break, and you'll have more control. But it's interesting to watch these two guys really master this pitch.
I need you to sign that ball for me, by the way. Donaldson, ground ball, third base, fair ball. Edman across the diamond in time for the out. Two are gone here in the sixth inning for Flaherty. Well, he is dialed in right now. Jack Flaherty. First postseason start was a little antsy in the first inning. His manager, Mike Schultz, said, I'd rather have him that way. Now he's kind of settled back into his rhythm and his tempo. He talked about just the little wrinkles on his pitches, the changes in velocity, the tilt of his slider. He was top 10% in exit velocity against, meaning weakly hit balls off the bat against Jack Flaherty. Top 10% in all of the major leagues in that category. So the hard hit percentage against him was very low. It's hard to find the barrel of the bat is the bottom line against a pitcher like this with this kind of repertoire.
Foltynewicz is getting strikeouts on his slider. Flaherty has gotten 8 ground ball outs on his.
He's retired 7 straight with Markakis at the plate, and there is a strike. Fastball that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joyce had the last hit. That was a single in the 4th. That followed Markakis' single, which started the inning. If the Cardinals do come back to win this game, you'll be able to look at that 4th inning as a turning point for St. Louis. The turning point for the Braves has been the guy on the mound from the first pitch, Mike Foltynewicz, who is dialed in right now. He's retired 8 straight. 1-2 pitch. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
I think it takes great patience and confidence to stay with your breaking ball when you know at any time you can dial it up to 98, like you did right there. Here comes the backdoor slider.
84th pitch of the outing. And Markakis dribbles one out to second base. Wong is there to make the play. Jack Flaherty, 3 up, 3 down. Flaherty has retired 8 consecutive batters. It's 1-0 Braves. We go to the 7th.
Last Brave to go 6 scoreless in the postseason. John Burkett in 2001, the NLDS Game 3 against the Houston Astros.
Marcell Ozuna leads off and strike 1 from Foltynewicz. 2001 was an important year for the Braves. That is the last postseason series they have won. Feeling the pressure of this 2019 postseason. Been a long time since the Braves have advanced. The bullpen starts to become a story. Max Fried is the left-hander. Sean Green is the right-hander. Brian Snitker told us before the game he has no hesitation about Melancon. Ozuna into center field. Acuna has got a beat on it, and he'll put it away for out number 1. You can help support the people of the Bahamas suffering from the effects of Hurricane Dorian by donating to the Abaco Relief Fund. Donate to abaco.org. One away, Yadier Molina coming to the plate. Let's check in with Lauren. She's got more on the Cardinal catcher.
Brian, this is the 91st postseason game for Yadier Molina. His teammates say he's allergic to taking a day off. Adam Wainwright told me Matt Wieters came over to him in the beginning of the year and said, hey, getaway days, I'll catch, right? Adam said, probably not. Wieters said, but what about when we have a 10-game road trip? I'll catch 2 days, probably. Wainwright said, I don't know how to tell you this, but probably not. He said he would play 162 if he could.
And he played 19 innings in a game against the Arizona Diamondbacks on the road.
Matt's going to pinch hit. That's what he's going to do.
Molina waves at that first pitch. Here's the 0-1. He waves again, and it's a foul ball, and it's quickly 0-2. Amazing career. It's still active. He has no plans of retiring, but he has been one of the greatest of all time. Yadier Molina.
37 away from 2,000 hits.
Only Jorge Posada has caught more postseason games, played in more postseason games all time. But he's down in a hole. 0-2, one away. We're in the 7th in a 1-0 game, and Molina leans out on one. That's going to fall. A base hit. Yadier Molina with a single. And just as Brian Snitker thought Foltynewicz was making this easy on him, he now has to start thinking about what the next move will be.
Remember last night, the Cardinals started that rally with 0-2 hits. And that's what you get right here. An 0-2 slider away. Molina was sitting on it and stroked a hit.
It was Fowler and Ozuna with the 0-2 hits. St. Louis scored 1 run in the first 7 innings of the game yesterday. They scored 6 in the last 2 innings. Colton Wong takes a strike.
Foltynewicz, even though he's gotten out of the last inning and has an out in this inning, his pitches are just drifting up in the strike zone here as he gets later and later in this game.
That base hit snapped a run of 9 in a row for Foltynewicz. Normally, you wouldn't think of Colton Wong as a double play candidate. He'd have to hit one right at an infielder. But yesterday, I don't think he was running like his normal self. You know, he's been out with a hamstring injury. I would say a double play possibility is more a possibility with Wong now than it was just a few weeks ago. Well, Tyler Webb in the bullpen.
Of course, you'll put him up in the bullpen just in case Cardinals get a rally and Flaherty's spot comes up.
They've been shut down thus far on a 3-hitter from Foltynewicz. But they have their first base runner since the 4th inning. Wong on the ground, got a chance here. Albies, Swanson thrown to first, and it's in time. A double play. Inning-ending double play. 4-6-3 it goes, and Foltynewicz 7 scoreless. Look at him, fired up. What a performance in game 2. Two of the great franchises in the National League, the Cardinals and the Braves, and a vintage pitching performance here this afternoon. Jack Flaherty, Mike Foltynewicz making pressure pitch after pressure pitch. And Foltynewicz, Ron, he's the headliner right now. 7 scoreless innings, just got a double play to win that last frame.
Well, I don't think you would be surprised that Flaherty's having the game he's had because of the second half he has had. But Foltynewicz has just been on the top of his game. It's as good as I've ever seen him pitch. And the pitch in a big game like this, what I wonder is how they're going to end this game. He could get through 8 innings, but does Max Fried close? Does Melanson close? There's a lot of options, I think, for Brian Snitker.
Brian Snitker told us before the game he will not hesitate to put Melanson back on the mound for the 9th inning if he needs him. That is Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach. The plan is in place. But right now, Foltynewicz has given them everything and more that they could ask for in this game 2. Hey, this postseason captivates us all with its dramatic moments. The MLB At-Bat app has them all for you. It's in one place. You get everything for your favorite teams who chase the pennant, video highlights, pitch tracking, much more. Download the MLB At-Bat app today. Here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Matt Joyce will lead off. Flaherty back on the mound. Swing and miss at that first pitch breaking ball. You would imagine that Snitker was a batter away from making a change in that 7th inning until Flaherty gets the double play ball off the bat of Colton Wong. Foltynewicz has still faced the minimum in his last 3 innings, wiping out that 1-out single. 1 ball, 1 strike to Joyce. A swing and a miss. There's another slider from Flaherty. And it's starting to get the kind of shape that starting in the 2nd inning that we're used to with Jack Flaherty. He's getting a ton of swings and misses.
Should just put that swing and miss on tape for you, Brian. Saying it a lot with Flaherty.
There's another one, but Joyce fouls this one away. It's fascinating watching the velocity readings. Flaherty with this breaking ball, as you pointed out in that highlight rip there, but it just hits every position there, and hitters, that was one of his fastest sliders. He just threw at 88 miles an hour.
I mean, the regular season, he almost pitched 200 innings. He gave up 135 hits. Unheard of.
He deals, misses, tried to hit the back door. Brian McCann due next. Braves in the 6, 7, 8 spot in their batting order. If a Brave should reach base in this inning and you get to the 4th batter, that's a pitcher spot.
Yeah.
And that's Foltynewicz. And how much can you ask out of Foltynewicz? That's a conversation he's having with Walt Weiss right now, the bench coach. Snitker's got a great staff here as well, as do the Cardinals, but he's got a couple of former big league managers around him. Ron Washington and Walt Weiss. 2-2 pitch, and Joyce fights it off foul. In case there is a pinch hitter, looks like Adam Duvall might be the pull for the Braves. He's getting the batting gloves on, getting ready.
Snitker will tell Weiss. Weiss will tell the hitters which ones to get ready, who they're going to face.
And for all we know, Adam Duvall might not have been told anything. He's just kind of lurking around like, I'm ready. Again, a 2-2 on the 8th pitch, and a swing and a miss. Flaherty strikes him out to start the 7th inning. Strikeout number 6.
Almost all breaking balls to Joyce until that last one, and then just blew him away with a fastball perfectly placed down and away.
Stayed with it. TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. After a number of foul balls, Joyce comes up empty. Brian McCann gets a first pitch fastball for a strike. McCann was a key out in the 4th inning. And that one's going to be into right center for a base hit. Brian McCann with a single. First hit off Flaherty since the 4th inning. And McCann is aboard. An add-on run and a big one at first base.
Well, you're always nostalgic for this great Braves player, Brian McCann. Every time he gets a hit here in the post, you're not sure if he's going to play another season after this year. No pinch runner.
Back-to-back fastballs by Flaherty, and McCann got him. Now it's Dansby Swanson. Adam Duvall has moved on deck.
This might be one of those situations when McCann gets in scoring position, then they might run for him.
Big swing by Swanson. In that 4th inning with the Braves with 2 on at the time, nobody out. It was 1st and 3rd after the Joyce single. And then McCann had a little infield pop-up, and then Swanson struck out. Joyce was trying to steal second, then got in a rundown, trying to get the run home. It didn't work. As you see, Max Fried will be next if the Braves go to the pen. Swanson takes a strike.
Just impossible, it seems, to put 2 or 3 hits in a row together against Flaherty. Thinking that Hamilton maybe at first base with a chance to steal a base might be able to steal your run.
I'm thinking right along with you. Yesterday, Brian Snitker pinch hit for Brian McCann, so you lost a catcher who could possibly navigate a bullpen better through the tight situation. Cervelli ended up catching the last few innings. He's sticking with McCann right here in a 1-0 game in the 7th inning. Swanson reaches out, fouls it away.
The last ball was a fastball in. This one a perfectly placed slider that Swanson fouls off. Barely gets the end of the bat on it.
No balls, 2 strikes. And down he goes. Swanson strikes out. The 7th K for Flaherty. And it is going to be Adam Duvall. It's going to be the end of the line here for Foltynewicz. And now Mike Maddox is on his way out.
This will be a little scouting report for Flaherty and Molina on Adam Duvall. Duvall spent a lot of time in AAA, but we're talking about a guy that 2 years in a row as a Cincinnati Red hit over 30 home runs.
Big power numbers. He had 29 homers in AAA before the end of July this year, earning his call-up. Hey, a reminder, a new league is here. You can join the revolution. John Moxley returns to the ring, and the road to tag team domination begins. All Elite Wrestling. Dynamite Wednesdays, only on TNT.
What an effort by Foltynewicz.
7 strong here today. Foltynewicz does not allow a run to the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 2 of this NLDS. Only 3 hits, and wiped out one of those hits with a double play ball. Adam Duvall announces a pinch hitter. He'll bat with 2 outs. McCann, the runner at first base. 1-0 Braves. A run that scored in the first inning. And a swing and a miss. Ronnie mentioned his year with the Reds 2 years ago. He had 31 homers with Cincinnati back in 17. Big power threat. His career's kind of stalled a little bit this year, but he did put the numbers up in AAA. Markakis went down with an injury, got the call up. His first 6 games as a Brave this year, he had 5 homers. And he's earned his way on this postseason roster. He had a good day yesterday, made a great throw, had an outfield assist, cutting down what would have been a go-ahead run throughout Colton Wong at the plate.
Well, this is why the defensive shift is on. Duvall is almost entirely pulled.
Trying to launch. That misses outside. 2 balls and a strike.
See, that was the 101st pitch against the Cubs recently. They let Flaherty go through 8 innings and 118 pitches.
Duvall had 2 plate appearances yesterday, was hit by a pitch, and then he singled. The 2-1 in the dirt. Nice pick back there by Molina, but now the count 3 balls and a strike. You got Ronald Acuna Jr. on deck.
I've always felt that visit from the pitching coach sometimes when a pinch hitter comes up kind of upsets your rhythm sometimes,
Yeah.
and he was in such a good rhythm.
It always happens too. There are always scouting reports now with a pinch hitter. Cardinal bullpen is quiet. 3 balls, 1 strike. Duvall at the plate. 1-0 Braves lead in the 7th. Flaherty deals, and a swing and a miss. Whenever he's needed a swing and miss, he's gotten it with the slider.
Well, you can count on less than one hand the mistakes he's made with the slider. A perfect one here on the 3-1 count. Same pitch.
That number 3 has been used a lot. The slider is coming. McCann takes off, and Duvall pulls it foul. The Cardinal bullpen just now got active. That is Gallegos. Those are his first few tosses. Bullpen coach Brian Eversgerd down there. So you know Schilt is thinking about Flaherty for at least Acuna. It'd be tough for Gallegos to get ready for Acuna, who would be next. So he's thinking maybe 2 more batters at least. 3-2, 2 outs. McCann takes off, and Duvall in the air, center field. That is back. Bader at the wall, and she's gone. Adam Duvall, a 2-run pinch hit home run. 3-0 Atlanta. A lightning strike from Adam Duvall. Now Acuna with 2 away. Big swing at a miss. What a moment for Duvall. 2 outs, 2 strikes, pinch hit, 2-run home run for Duvall.
I said Flaherty did not make a lot of mistakes. He made one there, and Duvall did not miss it. Deep into the night here in Atlanta.
What a moment. Atlanta could not add on yesterday. The Cardinals caught him and passed him and won the game. Only scoring runs when they got down. Flaherty watching it all the way. Fultonevich enjoying every minute of that majestic fly ball home run. In the air forever.
Think of the 2 stars of this game. Fultonevich and Duvall, both humbled. Spent much of their season in AAA, and the efforts they came with today.
Probably sitting in the clubhouse together in Gwinnett, just up the road in AAA, dreaming of a chance to make an impact once again. This is a crazy game, baseball.
You saw that reaction from Flaherty. Every pitcher has done it. Please stay in, stay in. It never works.
Acuna on the ground, fair ball, that eats him up. That's going to bounce off the glove down into left field, and Acuna, hustling all the way, is into second base. The inning continues.
That was very similar to the first ball that Acuna hit in his first at bat. Wicked topspin to Edman. And it looked like to me he was trying to get rid of it before he secured it, and the ball just bounced off his glove. Lots of topspin. Ball bounces up high and off the glove of Tommy Edman.
Flying. And ends up at second base. Almost a wipeout around first, but now he's in scoring position. All 3 Braves runs have come with 2 outs. Flaherty still out there in a 3-0 game as Albies swings and fouls one away. Gallegos and Webb. Gallegos was up and throwing. Webb started throwing last inning. Mike Schilt sticks with his horse.
Of all the pitchers in the rotation, he is the one he will stick with.
He's earned that right.
Yes, he has.
But it bit him. Adam Duvall, only the 2nd career pinch hit home run in Braves playoff history. The other was Eric Hensky back in 2010. They're going to score that, by the way, a double on Acuna. As always, a swing and a miss. Albies fouls one away, able to stay alive. Well, just an electrifying moment here at SunTrust. Pinch hit home run by Duvall. He's been on base 3 times in this series as a pinch hitter. Twice as a pinch hitter, but 3 times at the plate after entering as a pinch hitter. Played just 41 games this year for Atlanta. Had a hit and a hit by pitch yesterday, and now a 2-run bomb to extend the lead. Albies takes a ball, 1-2 the count. Pitch number 115 for Flaherty. Acuna, the runner at second base, inside move. Flaherty, who had one of the most dominant second halves in the history of the game. A sub-1 earned run average. He gave up just 10 earned runs the entire second half of the season. 3 on the board here today. As always, that's in the dirt. Molina keeps it somewhat in front, but not before Acuna will advance to third base on a wild pitch.
Molina doesn't get the glove down, tries to backhand it here, and it caroms off his left oblique and away just enough, of course, to speedy Acuna. Makes it easier to third.
I'd say it's bad technique, but he backhands him so often, he kind of sets his own rules back there. But that one cost him. How about those numbers right there? 3 earned runs his previous 24 innings. Remember, he had gone 19 consecutive scoreless before this start. He's given up 3 today, and now from 0-2 to 3-2 on Ozzie Albies with Freddie Freeman due next.
Only gave up 3 earned runs once in his last 16 starts.
Cardinals won game 1 yesterday with Keuchel on the mound to start it for Atlanta, knowing their ace would have game 2. But the Braves have a 3-0 lead, and a 3-2 pitch swung on and missed. Albies strikes out. 117 pitches is a season high. Big moment. Adam Duvall, a path through AAA back to the big leagues in the postseason. How about a pinch hit, 2 out, 2 strike, 2-run homer. That moves Markakis over to right field. Max Fried is the first man out of the Atlanta bullpen, and he comes out firing a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Strike 1 on DeYoung.
When series start, you have a plan. The plan changes usually after inning 1 of the first game. Max Fried was going to be game 4 starter. He might end up being the most important part of that Atlanta bullpen.
3 up, 3 down inning yesterday in the 7th. 2 strikeouts. He was dominant. And he gets the 8th here, and a swing and a miss. DeYoung way out in front. Fried in the game. It's our call tonight, presented by Physicians Mutual Insurance for all of us, as Duvall moves Markakis to right field.
Fried's got a big arm, 95 plus, big curveball and slider.
Here's an 0-2 pitch, and down he goes. Max Fried, a strikeout to start the 8th.
Boy, that was a no contest at bat there by Fried. 2 big breaking balls. The last one, look at the spin on that curveball as it eludes the bat of DeYoung.
I mean, that's nearly 20 miles an hour off his fastball with that kind of spin. Talk about a Kershaw-Koufax curveball.
But great arm action, right?
Harrison Bader now. He struggles with the curveball, and he gets one on the first pitch. Strike 1 to Harrison Bader. 0 for 2, 2 Ks today. Think about this. The Cardinals are still in the 3rd time through their batting order. We're in the 8th inning. That's how dominant Fultonavich was. And a breaking ball down in the zone, but Bader bites on it. And now it's 0-2. Jose Martinez on deck. He had an at-bat yesterday against Fried.
Including the post, Fried has gone 6 2/3 innings. In relief, has only given up 1 hit.
Ready for an 0-2. They missed with it. Back to the curve. Fried was originally scheduled to be the Game 4 starter, but available in the pen. The injury to Chris Martin. They added Julio Teheran to the roster. He could be a Game 4 starter. It's the here and now for Brian Snitker, and Fried's his best weapon. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Nice block back there by McCann. Tyler Webb continues to throw in the Cardinal bullpen.
Fried gets this through this inning with ease. He's my 9th inning pitcher.
I'm with you. Get a day off tomorrow. He might turn into a reliever exclusively in this postseason. Here's a 2-2. Bader, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went right back to the curve, and back-to-back Ks here in the 8th inning. Fultonavich and Flaherty each go 7. Fultonavich only 3 hits and no runs. Pitches the game of his life. Made 2 starts in the postseason last year. Flaherty frustrated.
He was great. He made 1 mistake. Flaherty was great.
And like so many occasions this year, the Cardinals don't score any runs for Jack Flaherty. Been a victim of poor run support all year from his Redbird offense. There's another curve and a big swing by Martinez. Adam Duvall, StatCast AI powered by AWS. Insurance runs with 2 outs. 423-foot homer. No balls and a strike on Martinez. Fried struck him out yesterday. First batter faced in the 7th inning. And he's going to dump one into right field. A base hit for Martinez. What a beautiful piece of hitting there by Jose Martinez.
He can hit. It doesn't matter who's out there throwing. He figures it out.
2-out single to right.
Another breaking ball. This one on the outside corner. He just goes with it and dumps it into right. Good hitting.
Like Elastic Man stretching those arms out. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, on the phone to the pen. And we'll see who pops out. That is a big story. Who walks through that door right there?
That's right.
3-0 game. Here is Fowler. Turns around, hits right-handed, takes strike 1 from Fried. Well, there's your answer. It is not Melanson. It is Green. We are in the 8th. Melanson going across multiple innings yesterday. Might be a 9th inning only pitcher at this point.
You got switch hitter Fowler here, switch hitter Edman up next, and then right-handers Goldschmidt, Ozuna, and Molina.
Fowler faced Fried yesterday, struck out. 2 outs in the 8th. Tying run is on deck for St. Louis. Fried deals, and Fowler hits it sharply to center field, right at Acuna, and the inning is over. And Max Fried puts up a 0 in the 8th. Braves are coming up. They lead 3-0 in Game 2. Network, and then Nationals Dodgers. That'll be Game 2 there. Dodgers in a shutout win yesterday. Saturday it's Twins and Yankees at 5 Eastern, and then the Astros and Rays will play Game 2. Astros winning their first game of their best-of-5 series over the wild card winners. Ron, it's Tyler Webb on the mound for St. Louis. Left-hander has Freeman to lead off, Donaldson next, and then another lefty scheduled to hit at Markakis. And Mark Melanson starting his preparations in the Atlanta bullpen.
Brian Snitker said before the game he was going to go back to Melanson in a save opportunity. And I think you can see he's being true to his word.
Max Fried works a scoreless 8th inning. Works around a 2-out hit, had a couple of Ks. 2 scoreless innings in the postseason out of the bullpen for Fried. Freeman takes a ball from Webb. 2-2 the count on Freddie Freeman. Cardinals will have 2, 3, and 4 in their batting order coming up. They are right where they want to be, but they are down 3-0 where they want to be in their batting order. Talked about it when we hit the air today, Ron, as The Atlanta Braves dropped the first game. Schultz Cardinals win that first game on the road, and now all of a sudden the Braves are the ones trying to flip the script, as the Cardinals did yesterday. Remember, Atlanta has their ace on the mound in game 3 in St. Louis. A race to the bag. Webb beats Freeman, and there is out number 1.
Well, just like the Cardinals had their ace today, so they were in best position, but they didn't know Mike Fultonevich is going to throw the game of his life. So they've reversed it if the Braves can hold on. There's Mike Soroka. His numbers on the road this year, and that's why he's going to get the start in St. Louis. 7-1, 1.55 ERA for the young right-hander.
Brian Snitker did say if Soroka, while he's in number 3 spot in this rotation, he certainly would be available out of the bullpen if it continues on to a potential game 5. These best-of-5 series, they roll quickly. 3 wins to advance as Donaldson takes a ball. Brebbia getting ready in the Cardinal pen.
Threw in last night's game.
Unlikely they would pinch hit from Markakis with a lead, but if they do, that would be the move, I would imagine. And Donaldson fouls it back.
Not going to bat for Markakis in a game that you're winning by 3 runs. You want his gold out there.
Donaldson started the scoring today back in the first inning. Had a 2-out RBI single off Flaherty. Flaherty was unnerved in his first postseason start. He pitched okay, not his dominant self in the first. Then he settled down and looked like the Flaherty from the regular season. But then Adam Duvall got him with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 7th. 2-run bomb out of here, pinch hit homer. Boy, what a moment for him. Pinch hitting for that guy, Mike Fultonevich. 7 shutout today, 3 hits. 2 starts last year in the postseason for Atlanta against the Dodgers. All 3 runs for the Braves coming with 2 outs today. Donaldson hit a bullet in the first inning off Flaherty for that first run. Oh, and 2 the count. Just missed. Braves have been a high octane offense, especially in the late innings all year. They led the majors in runs scored after the 7th inning. 2 on the board today with that Duvall home run. They scored 308 runs 7th inning or later. Duvall, who played 101 games in AAA this season. There's a motivational speech in there somewhere. One day for Adam Duvall.
Probably spent many a night thinking, should I keep doing this, right? The payback was huge.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Donaldson strikes out. Webb 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning. His first K.
Just crowded Donaldson, that entire bat. And finally a fastball he throws by him on the inside corner.
TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Tyler Webb reinventing himself as well after bouncing around a little bit. Yankees to Brewers. He's free to have a chat with Keuchel, game 1 starter.
Not only has Keuchel been the game 1 starter, not only has he been good since they signed him, he's almost a de facto extra pitching coach for some of these young, especially a young left-hander like Fried.
Quickly 0-2 on Markakis. Markakis had a hit off Flaherty to lead off the 4th inning. Went first to third on a single by Joyce. Flaherty got out of that inning. That was a key 4th inning until that Duvall home run. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for the Cardinals with Edman leading off. Remember, he's a switch hitter. Closer Melanson still preparing in the bullpen after a rough outing yesterday. Second game of the postseason. It's almost like Brian Snitker, who has the big picture design on winning a World Series. They need Melanson, and he's going to give him the ball in a save situation at this point. Melanson threw 28 pitches last night, surrendering 4 runs, pitching across 2 innings, but got 3 outs last night, giving up 5 hits and 4 runs. Marty Reed, the Braves bullpen coach. One ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Webb with a nice inning. 3 up, 3 down, a couple of Ks. Stage is set. Give the ball back to Melanson. Is there redemption here in game 2 for him? 3-0 Atlanta. So the 9th Cardinals are coming up, and Mark Melanson is on the mound. His first save opportunity of this postseason. Came in a tie game yesterday. He'll have Edman, Goldschmidt, and Ozuna to start it. 2, 3, and 4 in the Cardinal batting order.
Doesn't get any tougher than that.
A 2-run homer by Duvall in the 7th has stretched it to 3-0 for the Braves. First pitch inside, ball 1.
Melanson got hurt last night on a lot of curveballs. It'll be interesting to see if he uses his cutter more today. That first pitch, a cutter to Edman.
Melanson to Edman, and that misses. 2 balls, no strikes. That was a close pitch. Didn't get the call. Braves are down one of their hired gun relievers. Chris Martin, placed on the injured list, hurt yesterday while warming up for the game. That set the wheels in motion. That turned into a disaster for the Braves bullpen.
If you see any activity on the bases, you're going to see Shane Green up in the bullpen for the Braves.
3-0 the count on Tommy Edman. Taking all the way, takes a strike. Julio Teheran just got added to the roster. He is milling about in the bullpen.
More cheerleading.
And possibly a game 4 start. Edman's only faced Melanson twice. He's 0 for 2 against him. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And a bouncing ball, fair ball. Freeman gloves, flips. Melanson's there, out number 1. Good comeback by Mark Melanson, down 3-0. Gets a 3-1 ground out for the first out of the 9th. Now to bring up Paul Goldschmidt now. StatCast AI powered by AWS. This was the homer last night that got the Cardinals jump started. Got him within 1. He led off the 8th inning. Booming home run by Paul Goldschmidt.
Remember, that's after Chris Martin hurt himself. They brought in Luke Jackson on Jackson's second pitch. Goldschmidt took him deep.
And then Melanson came in for Jackson. Got out of the inning and then couldn't finish the 9th. It was 3-3 when Melanson entered. Goldschmidt. And he takes a ball. Goldschmidt's now hit 5 postseason home runs. Just 10 career postseason games. And a swing and a liner into left center, base hit. Goldschmidt with a base knock. And the Cardinals have a man on base.
Cardinals have been coming back the entire month of September. Good pitch by Melanson. Better hitting from Goldschmidt. So much plate coverage for Goldie.
Tying run on deck. Here's Ozuna now. Melanson facing Ozuna. And Ozuna takes a strike. I misspoke, by the way. Melanson did have a save opportunity yesterday. That was a 3-2 game. I said his first save opportunity. This is his second, of course. Beg your pardon. Yadier Molina due next. That's the bat the Cardinals would love to get to the plate with at least 2 men on. Crowd wanted it. Off the plate though. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Close pitch. Good call by Alan Porter.
A 1-out single by Goldschmidt. Do the Cardinals have another late rally in them here today as Ozuna swing and a miss. Pulled the trigger on a pitch, maybe down and out, but he bites, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes.
You can see off center with that cutter, down and away from Ozuna.
That's his bread and butter pitch right there.
He'd like to throw that again.
Double play ends the game. 1 out in the 9th, and Ozuna punches one to right field, a base hit. Just serves one to right. Now the Cardinals in business. 2 on, 1 out, and the tying run will bat.
Well, we saw it off Melanson last night from Fowler, Ozuna, Wong, all base hits on that curveball. Ozuna again tonight.
Serious discussion going on in that Braves dugout. What a piece of hitting here by Ozuna, huh? He's playing pepper.
Not even a bad pitch. There were a lot of good pitches that the Cardinals hit. Curveballs last night too.
Ozuna had that big double off Melanson down the line on a curveball that was down in the zone. 2 on, 1 away. Molina at the plate. And a swing and a miss. Molina chased up and away. Newcomb is the big lefty. Shane Green over on the right side of the mound.
He's already been up, so it shouldn't take him too long. Newcomb's firing away.
Last night, Melanson intentionally walked Molina in that 9th inning. Doesn't bite on this one. Good block back there by McCann. That keeps a double play alive.
Both catchers have put a clinic on today.
Think about the 2 big hits yesterday against Melanson. Ozuna double down the left field line. 2-run double just inside the bag. Wong had the double down the right field line. Drove in a pair. Those were both on curveballs. Those big sweeping curves by Melanson.
Donaldson right on the line.
2 on, 1 out. Here it comes. Molina swing and a miss. Cut right through a fastball.
You watched the follow through of Molina. He was trying to hit that ball to the right side the entire way. Watch the follow through on this cutter. Well placed by Melanson. The swing by Molina going that way the entire way.
Swung under it. Molina's been clutch. Hit .305 in the regular season with runners in scoring position. But he is a prime double play candidate if he puts one on the ground. He does not run well. One and 2 the count. Here it comes. Molina spoils it foul. Colton Wong is on deck. Mike Schultz saw his team come alive in the last 2 innings. They scored 2 in the 8th, 4 in the 9th. Scored 4 runs off Melanson in the 9th inning. Ready for a 1-2 now. Here it comes, and Molina on the ground, foul. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, I know we got the new rules in place, but Freeman is playing so far behind Ozuna. He's getting such a great secondary lead that he's got to try to, if a ball's on the ground, get at least in the face of Albies if he's trying to turn the double play, or Swanson.
McCann goes to the mound. Gets a sign straight. Goldschmidt's been out at second base for a while. You want to manage in the big leagues, huh? Waited his whole life for an opportunity like that. And now giving the ball to his closer. Acquired from the Giants. Had a rough start, but has been good down the stretch in the regular season. Trying to come back after a rough one last night. Melanson deals a 1-2, and Molina swings and misses. Up the ladder with a fastball. He struck him out. 2 gone in the 9th.
He went away from the cutter and decided to throw that high fastball. That's why McCann went out there, to make sure, let's not go down. Let's throw something upstairs. It was cutting, but neck high.
After back-to-back curveballs, he gets him with a fastball. And now the Cardinals are down to their last out, and Colton Wong will step in for St. Louis, representing the tying run. In the dirt, smothered by McCann. Last night, Melanson on the mound.
This was one of those good curveballs we were talking about. Down and hit it right over the first base bag to score 2 more last night for the Cardinals.
Ozuna had doubled down the third base line. Yet a couple just inside the bags on each corner.
Wong might be small in stature, but he's got some pop.
He almost went deep in the 4th inning. A long fly ball out, caught by Joyce in the 4th. Cardinals have not had many chances with runners in scoring position. This is just their 3rd at-bat of the game with a runner in scoring position. Melanson deals to Wong. This is low. That curveball about in the same spot. 2-0 on Colton Wong. Have a big power hitter due next for St. Louis. Paul DeYoung.
Hate to go to conspiracy theory, but boy, they're taking those curveballs pretty easy, aren't they?
There's a strike. Drops one in. Landed the plane for a strike. Now it's 2-1.
Biggest pitch of the night for Melanson. Melanson keeps going to the hat because he's looking at what sign they're going to use with that runner on second.
Two balls and a strike as they chop here in Atlanta. Goldschmidt at second base, Ozuna at first. Here it comes, and a swing and a miss. 2-2 now. Bit on that breaking ball. That was in the dirt. McCann, another nice block. Keeps runners at first and second. Boy. Now the Cardinals down to their last strike.
That one had the best and latest bite from Melanson, fooling Wong.
2-2, 2 outs. 9th inning. Melanson a strike away. Here it comes, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Braves win game 2. Mark Melanson right back on the horse, picks up the save for Atlanta. First Braves shutout in the playoffs since 2001. And Melanson with that spike curveball sends Wong out and sends the Cardinals into a 1-1 tie in this series.
Well, once he got ahead, then he knew he didn't have to throw a strike with that curveball, snapped it off. But this game will be remembered for two guys, pinch hit by Duvall, and 7 of the best innings that Mike Foltynewicz ever threw.
Last time the Atlanta Braves advanced out of a series was 0-1. They get a shutout for the first time since. Duvall hits the pinch hit 2-run homer. Foltynewicz with a gem on the mound. He beats Jack Flaherty. 3-0 our final score. The Braves win it. Coming up later, 9 Eastern, TBS Game 2, Nationals and Dodgers. After a short break, it's the postseason show with Casey Stern and the gang. For Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi, and the rest of our crew, I'm Brian Anderson saying so long from SunTrust Park in Atlanta.